recently posted one of my TikToks about the Antelope Data Center on Facebook. I posted it in the Cedar City Word of Mouth Facebook group. And if you're not a part of that Facebook group, you should join. It keeps you in the loop what's going on in town here. But from there, someone commented and asked me to join their Facebook page called No Data Centers in Iron County, Utah. And this is a brand new Facebook page, and it's already got over 100 members. Because a lot of people in this community have really valid concerns about the Antelope Data Center, whether it's really going to operate on a closed loop cooling system, how often it's going to require flushing, what kind of chemicals are going to be added into that water, whether it's really going to produce the 700 jobs that it promises to, and whether those are temporary and associated with the construction or whether they're permanent, and whether it's really going to constrict itself to just using the energy that it produces with its natural gas powered plant, or if it's going to draw from the grid or require expensive infrastructure upgrades that are then paid for by residents in higher electricity rates. And also for me, I keep saying this, but the biggest issue for me is that it's going to be powered by natural gas in the first place. I don't know why these guys don't spend the money to build a solar farm. Instead, they were going to be releasing thousands and thousands of tons of CO2 into the atmosphere out here, which is all going to be trapped in our Cedar Valley, which is going to cause the air quality out here to become much worse and is going to contribute to all sorts of long-term health effects for the people living here. But hey, at least the county is getting millions and millions of dollars in new tax revenue. And if they're willing to destroy our wilderness and destroy our way of life for that tax revenue, then frankly, they don't deserve to be representing us. I'm talking about Ken Robinson, I'm talking about Mike Bleak, and I'm talking about Paul Cousins. I don't normally use Facebook. In fact, I'm only really using Facebook because that's where the voters are, and I'm trying to get the word out about what my campaign intends to do in District 71. And to do that, I need to go to where the people are. So I comment on one of the posts in this Facebook group and tell them that I want to get involved in supporting opposition to this data center project. And this woman asks me if I can be in the Cedar City Library in the next 30 minutes. So I shoot down there and I get to talking to these people. And it is this bipartisan group of Republicans and Democrats who are all in opposition to this data center. And some of them want to stop it outright. Some of them, like me, want renewable energy to power it. Other people are really concerned about the water and whether there's going to be toxic chemicals leached into the groundwater, which we've seen happen at other data center projects across the country. And we start talking about the Planning Commission, which is this volunteer group of Cedar City locals that is appointed by the mayor to basically create recommendations on conditions for this data center to the Iron County commissioners. So if you have any conditions that you want the commissioners to take a look at, then email Brett Hamilton, and I put his email address here. He is the planner and services coordinator for Iron County. Now a Google Drive has been created where everybody has access to the information that everybody else has access to. And that includes new information about the funding and the companies behind this data center, and new information about the tax structures and the conditions. And a lot of this can seem really overwhelming when you're one person asking themselves how they can stand up to this thing and protect their community. But when you work with a group of people, and we're talking about dozens of people that are all contributing to this, then suddenly mounting a real resistance to the Antelope Data Center becomes much more possible instead of being bulldozed by their billions of dollars and an extremely accommodating county commission that does not seem interested in listening to the residents of Cedar City. So if you're someone who wants to get more involved in your local politics and you're someone who feels very passionately about this data center, then first of all, join the Facebook group, No Data Centers in Iron County, Utah. And second of all, we're probably going to start doing regular in-person meetings to talk about this stuff, and you can be a part of that conversation. So shoot an email to ironcountynodata@gmail.com and they'll get you hooked up and brought into the group. So you can take your stand with your neighbors against an anonymous big tech multi-billion-dollar project.